The real Dora Milaje. They fought bare-breasted in battle. They took vows of celibacy. They beheaded enemy soldiers and brought their heads back as trophies. And when Marvel saw them, they said, "We need to put this in Black Panther." But here's what the movie didn't tell you. The real Dora Milaje. They were so brutal that European soldiers wrote home saying they'd rather face men than these women. And unlike the movie, their story doesn't have a happy ending. This is the truth behind the warriors that inspired Wakanda. And trust me, reality is way more shocking than fiction. Intro. If you've seen Black Panther, you know the Dora Milaje. Wakanda's all-female special forces. Bald heads, red armor, vibranium spears. Loyal to the death. Absolute badasses. But most people don't know they were based on real warriors. The Dahomey Amazons of West Africa. And I'm not talking inspired by, in the loose Hollywood sense. I mean Marvel literally studied these women and said, yeah, we can't make this up. Because the real story. It's got everything. Warrior queens. Brutal training. Battles against European colonizers. A kingdom built on controversial choices. And an ending that'll make you understand why Hollywood changed it. So buckle up. Because we're going deep into the true story of Africa's most legendary female warriors. And I promise you, your history teacher never taught you this. The Kingdom of Dahomey. First, let's set the scene. We are talking about the Kingdom of Dahomey, located in modern-day Benin, West Africa. This wasn't some small tribal village. This was a military superpower that dominated the region from the 1600s to the late 1800s. Dahomey was rich. They controlled trade routes for palm oil, textiles, and, yeah, we need to talk about this, the slave trade. Uncomfortable truth, Dahomey made a fortune selling enslaved people to European traders. We'll come back to this. But for now, understand, this kingdom had money, power, and enemies everywhere. And here's where it gets interesting. Sometime in the early 1700s, historians debate exactly when Dahomey's king started recruiting women into their army. Not as nurses. Not as cooks. As frontline combat soldiers. Why? Some say it started because Dahomey needed more soldiers and was running out of men. Others say King Agoja saw women hunting elephants and thought, if they can take down elephants, they can take down enemy soldiers. Another theory. The king wanted bodyguards who wouldn't try to overthrow him. Male generals got ambitious. Women warriors. They were loyal. Whatever the reason, by the 1800s, these women made up about one-third of Dahomey's entire military. We are talking thousands of warriors. The French called them Amazons after the Greek myths. But their real name? The Mino. Which translates to our mothers. Yeah. Think about that. Our mothers. These women who would literally decapitate you in battle. Dahomey called them mothers. The recruitment and training. So how did you become a Dahomey Amazon? You didn't exactly apply online. Some women volunteered. Daughters of warriors seeking glory. Women who didn't want to get married. Some sources even say women who were considered too difficult for their husbands were sent to the king, who put them in the army. Basically, your wife won't obey you. Send her to become a warrior. That'll teach her. Except it actually made them more dangerous. But here's where it gets intense. Once you were recruited, you belonged to the king. You lived in the royal palace. You took a vow of celibacy, no relationships, no marriage, no children. Your life was the army. Period. And the training. Absolutely brutal. They trained these women to be physically superior to men. We are talking obstacle courses through thorn bushes to build pain tolerance. Climbing walls covered in acacia thorns. Sparring with male soldiers, and they were expected to win. One European observer wrote about watching a training exercise where a warrior had to scale a wall, then execute a bound prisoner on the other side. This wasn't a drill. This was actual execution as part of training. To desensitize them to killing. They learned to move silently through the bush, to use machetes, clubs, rifles, and their signature weapon, a razor-sharp blade on a pole, basically a combination spear and sword. They could decapitate someone in one swing. And here's a detail that Western accounts fixated on: many fought bare-breasted or topless. Why? Some say it was to prove they were women, psychological warfare, show the enemy they are about to get destroyed by female warriors. Others say it was practical, less restrictive in combat. Either way, European soldiers found it deeply disturbing. Which was kind of the point. Combat record: they were brutal. Okay, so they trained hard. But could they actually fight? Oh, they could fight. European accounts, and yes, we have to rely on European sources here, which is problematic, but it's what we've got, described the Dahomey Amazons as fearsome. One French naval officer wrote, "These women are more brave than the male soldiers. They march in perfect formation and execute orders without hesitation." In 1851, the Amazons attacked a rival kingdom. They marched 30 miles in one night, launched a surprise attack at dawn, and overwhelmed the enemy before they could organize a defense. Hundreds killed. The Amazons took heads as trophies, proof of their kills. This wasn't considered barbaric in Dahomey's military culture. This was what warriors did. But here's where the story gets complicated. Because while the Dahomey Amazons were incredible warriors, they were fighting for a kingdom that participated in the slave trade. They captured people from neighboring tribes and sold them to Europeans. The Amazons themselves led raids to capture slaves. So we're talking about women who were, on one hand, defying gender norms and proving female warriors could match or exceed men in combat. On the other hand, they were part of a system that enslaved other Africans. History isn't clean. It's messy. And the Dahomey Amazons are a perfect example of that complexity. Now, you might be thinking, if they were so good, why haven't I heard of them? Well, that brings us to the tragic part. The fall, fighting the French. By the late 1800s, European powers were carving up Africa. The Berlin Conference of 1884, where European countries literally drew lines on a map and said, "This is mine, that's yours," sealed Africa's fate. France wanted Dahomey. Dahomey said no. So in 1890, France invaded. And the Dahomey Amazons fought back. Here's where we need to pause and appreciate what happened. These women, armed with rifles, swords, and spears, faced French colonial forces with modern repeating rifles, artillery, and Gatling guns. Technologically, it wasn't even close. It was like bringing a knife to a machine gun fight. And yet, the Amazons fought like hell. In the Battle of Colonial, Amazons charged French positions multiple times. French accounts describe women continuing to fight even after being shot, crawling forward to attack with their last breath. One French officer wrote, "We had to shoot them multiple times to stop them." Their courage was extraordinary and terrifying. But courage doesn't stop bullets. And after 2 years of fighting, Dahomey fell. The French disbanded the Amazon Corps. Some warriors escaped into the countryside and continued guerrilla resistance. Most were forced to return to civilian life. France colonized the kingdom, renamed it, and tried to erase its history. By the early 1900s, the Dahomey Amazons were gone. A few elderly former warriors lived into the 1940s. Photographers captured images of them, old women, still proud, still fierce. The last known Amazon died in 1979. And for decades, their story was forgotten. Until Hollywood came knocking. From history to Hollywood. So how did the Dahomey Amazons become the Dora Milaje? When Marvel created Black Panther in the 1960s, the Dora Milaje didn't exist yet. They were added to the comics in 1998. And the creator specifically researched the Dahomey Amazons as inspiration. The look, the attitude, the all-female warrior culture, it was all based on historical research. Then came the 2018 Black Panther movie. And suddenly, millions of people who'd never heard of Dahomey were watching Wakandan warriors on screen. The bald heads, the spears, the absolute loyalty, all echoes of the real Amazons. But here's what the movie changed. Wakanda is a fictional utopia. It was never colonized. It's the most advanced nation on earth. The Dora Milaje protect a king in a thriving kingdom. The real Amazons. They fought for a kingdom that participated in the slave trade. They lost to European colonizers. Their kingdom was destroyed. Their culture was suppressed. So yeah, Hollywood gave them a happy ending. A version where the African warriors win. Where they are not victims of colonialism but protectors of a nation that was never conquered. And you know what? I get why they did it. Because we need those stories. We need to see African warriors as victorious, powerful, undefeated. But we also need to know the truth. The real Dahomey Amazons deserve to be remembered for who they actually were. Complicated, fierce, loyal, brutal, tragic, and absolutely extraordinary. These weren't Wakandan superheroes. They were real women. They trained until their bodies were weapons. They fought against impossible odds. And when their kingdom fell, they refused to surrender their dignity. That's the real story. And honestly, it's more powerful than any movie could ever be. So the next time you watch Black Panther and see the Dora Milaje, remember, those characters are based on real warriors. Women who defied every expectation of their time. Who proved that female soldiers could be just as deadly, just as disciplined, and just as courageous as any man. Hollywood gave them a happy ending. History didn't. But their legacy, that lives on. In movies, in books, in the memories of the people of Benin who still honor them today. The Dahomey Amazons were real. And they were absolutely legendary. If you learned something new today, hit that like button. Subscribe for more African history that schools don't teach you. And drop a comment, did you know about the Dahomey Amazons before Black Panther? Let me know. I see you in the next one.